Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to another video. All right, let's check it out. Let's see what we got for you right now. Hey, do you like seeing these modern cars in my collection? I think it's good that I change them. I don't want to make them repetitive. I want to go from a classical car to a modern car. As long as they're car, truck, not trucks like semi trucks, but like a van or convertible, a sedan or a station wagon or an SUV like we're doing right now. But I like to mix it up. I don't want to make it boring. I want to make it that you're not expecting. I went from a Toyota yesterday to a Land Rover Discovery. And just as I said the name, we got for you right now a 143 scale Land Rover Discovery. Now, this is the latest generation of the Land Rover Discovery, and I think they kind of are trying to bring the attractiveness of the brand into this model because they usually took care a lot of the Range Rover, which is the big papa of the group. But they, when it came to the Discovery and the LR2, which was the old school, like smaller SUV, they kept them more reserved on their looks. But I think in this model right here, I think they put a little bit of everything. They kept it modern. They kept it not so much old school, but modern. Yes, I kind of see a lot of Range Rover in it. A bit of everything, like the slanted looks, the front end, even the rear end. I don't know. I think I like the change. Even though I like the previous models, I like them too. But this is a big difference from a square looking one to a rounded, slanted, modern. It was a big change. Now, this model right here, it is the latest Land Rover Discovery, and this model came out in 2017. And assembly lines, a lot of people say, oh, don't forget to mention where was it built. This car, obviously, since a British car, they have to be built also in the UK, but also it was built in Slovakia. And in Slovakia, they were built. So they got two locations being assembled. And let's check it out. Let's get some information on the engines. On these cars, expect only seeing um hmm, 4 cylinders and 6 cylinders. But let's get to the point. Let's see. We got 3.0 supercharged V6. Then we got 3.0 turbo diesel V6. 2.0 turbo diesel. A 2.0 turbo diesel. And by the way, the 2.0s are 4 cylinders. And then we got a six cylinder 3.0 turbocharged V6, like I mentioned before. So if they kept it between the 4 cylinders and the 6 cylinders, transmission, they only make them automatics. They only have them as an 8 speed automatic. You know, one thing I read the other day, not the other day, probably a few months ago, I didn't know that Land Rover's biggest market, one of the biggest markets, is the USA and North America. I never thought about that because I do see they like Land Rovers here, but it's not the most wanted brand. I think Range Rover it is. We all know Range Rover. It's super luxurious. It's super fashionable. But when it comes to SUVs, they always tend to look more in the luxury group I'm talking about towards the German brands like the Mercedes Benz and the BMWs, and to a smaller extent, I would probably say Audi and Volvo as a Swedish brand. But I don't see Land Rovers always like, especially Discovery. I don't see it being a big competitor for like the German brands. But I read that it was one of their biggest markets. Again, Land Rover, it's not a huge brand. It may be popular, may be respected in many countries, but it's sometimes we all know that being a unreliable car hurts your sales in as the new models come out. Why? Because people do not want to spend thousands of dollars in fixing a car after 6, 7 years. You want to make sure you pull out the most out of the car. And sometimes we all know Land Rovers could be quite expensive and quite unreliable at moments. And I don't want to badmouth the brand because, like I said, I really like Land Rovers. I really like them. I find them very. They have the old school with the new school. What I mean by old school, they're trying to keep the old Land Rover looks in mixed with the new Land Rover era. It's like a little mixture. It's like a little cake batter. You know, they want to make sure they mix everything and make a model out of it. So they do have that. But again, we're still a bit more reliable. All right, guys. I'm going to let it go around a few times and I'll be right back. All right, guys. So, what do you guys think about these nice looking SUVs? A modern era SUV, let's call it like that. I think it's quite a nice step. What Land Rover did to the Discovery model is a big change, a big step up from their previous model. Hopefully, time will change. Well, it's a 2017 model, so it's about time those problems are starting to come up. I haven't heard big issues yet. Maybe I have to do a little bit more investigation. My little Inspector Gadget notebook and pull out some readings. But I haven't heard not much of a big drama in it. But I really like it. Hopefully they're doing better, and hopefully they get to be a great brand again, great brand and reliable brand too. All right, good guys. So hopefully you're enjoying these videos as much as I'm enjoying making them. Don't forget to give me a beautiful thumbs up and don't forget to click and subscribe. When you subscribe, don't forget to click the bell next to the subscribe button that will remind you when I'm posting more videos. All right, everyone? Take care of yourselves more than ever, as I always say, and goodbye.